More than I need, what you want, girl, it's yours. Give me your feelings, I just can't ignore. 'Cause all I want is you, baby. Give me your time, all your love, I've been paid.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey everybody, it's me, Brandi.
And welcome to another episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What's going on? We back.
We are, and I have a special announcement because if you are maybe a not serial watcher, but if you binge watch the podcast and you've watched the live from last week and now are watching the episode from this week, yes, we have on the same clothes because it is the same day. Okay.
That was your special announcement?
That was my special announcement. I want to be like, ooh, they nasty. No. We got off the live and we jumped right on here because that's how dedicated we are.
Yeah, more like a public service announcement. They was like, ooh, what's special announcement? What's happening?
Special announcement is we working hard. Okay? Just knocking them out.
Yeah, I had to go swing and get me a coffee or something. I'm like, I am tapped out. It's been a day, but yeah, no. It is a late pod. Right now when we're recording this almost 10:52. It's 11 o'clock. 11.
I can't even look at my watch because my little nighttime thing done came on. So it's limited the functions. It's like you supposed to be asleep right now. So I just want y'all to know that y'all cutting into my 7 hours of sleep that I'm supposed to get every night.
Look, well, we love y'all. So I hope y'all thankful. Hope y'all thankful. Nah, but
we got on our merch.
We do.
We need to bring it back.
I need new merch. I need a whole different. I look a mess. I got dinner on me.
Not dinner. Where?
I got green bean casserole on my joint. Look.
See, you ain't even have to point that out.
I see it. The fourth wall is eliminated.
I don't see it. You look fine. You look comfortable.
Golly.
You look comfortable.
Yeah, tired and comfortable. So yeah, just finished the live. I think that's a good time to remind you guys to tap in with our live. If you came last Thursday and y'all didn't see us, we are so sorry. That's usually where we be. We don't want to be like them black businesses where it be like we say we open and you come. And you know, I can't even say black business
don't even
anymore.
do that. Don't do us like that.
You can't say black. Well, that's our stuff. We started that.
That's only because we be trying to frequent our stuff, and you know we be trying to support, and we notice it more. But I have a Hispanic place that been doing me bold for the past month, so it ain't just us. Maybe
you know any white restaurants
people
that do that? Because Farm to Table be open. If they say they open, they open. That Farm to Table joint.
Jessica on that Farm to Table. If you watch,
they open. If they say they open, they open. Nah. Shout out all entrepreneurs, all local business. We just poking fun, but
we know it's hard because we don't even be where we supposed to be when we supposed to be there. So we understand.
Yeah. So if you came to the live, didn't see us, we apologize. We will be here Thursday.
Lord willing.
But I took everything. It took everything.
If God willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be there.
It took everything in me not to put Lord willing in there. I said, we're usually there. We usually go with the lives.
But y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all family at this point. So, you know, sometimes we have to adjust, and we thank y'all for rolling with us. Shout out to the fellas that were on tonight. As Russell pointed out on the live, it is usually ladies' night. But on Fridays, the fellas came out and kicked it with us. So shout out to all y'all that was on there. We appreciate the good conversation and the feedback that we had. It was a really good, really dope conversation, and I like getting the male perspective.
Absolutely. I have I don't know if this is a question. I have a scenario. It triggered something.
Okay.
So I have for those of y'all don't know, I work at a school, right? There's a mom, and I just thought she was just so nice because when she comes, she picks up all of these extra kids, right? Mm-hmm. It don't matter what time she come either. She could be picking up her son for a doctor's appointment, and it'll be all these extra kids that just come out like, oh yeah, I'm riding with them. It's been happening all school year, so I thought this is just like what they do. So this particular day, she comes early. I just happened to be by the door, so I let her in. She says, excuse me, can you get my son? And I don't want to take anybody home, but I have a hard time saying no. So can you just help me? Mm. So I go get the boy. his little crew noticed him leaving, and they all rushed the front. Are we leaving? Are we leaving? And I said, hey, listen, he's got an appointment. Y'all need to find your own way home, just like y'all supposed to. Like, she's not running the taxi cab service. You know, she goes, oh, I don't mind. That's no problem at all. I said,
made you look like the bad guy, huh?
It made me so bad. But then had the nerve to come back. Now, this has been a pattern. Had the nerve to come back and say, again, I just have a hard time. Can you help me? I said, no. You're going to have to put up your own boundaries. That's not my job, right? If you don't want to get people, you don't have to. But I'm not, you had one time with me and I got
kids
back.
Don't have like permission slips to go home with her. I'll just be letting them go with anybody.
Well, see, here's the thing. Everyone's taking advantage of her because she doesn't have good boundaries, because she had an arrangement with one of the kids. Like, I'll take them one day, you take them the next day. They live close together. The boys are best friends. So this is supposed to be an arrangement. I ain't seen the other boy's mama all school year.
She ain't holding up her side of the deal.
Nah. So now she's like, I'm not running a taxi cab service. You say you ain't brought my son home once. So once again, they don't got nothing to do with school. Like, this is your stuff.
Yeah. She just got bad boundaries. That's all.
That's exactly what it is. But it had my wheels turning. And I was wondering if there's any new boundaries that you've had to put up, or maybe some old boundaries that you've had to put up with me and you. Like, do they exist in a marriage? Like, we did an episode prior to, which was like, no, that was deal breakers. Did we do an episode of boundaries?
No, I don't think so. I think we kind of blended it all in together on the deal breakers conversation, because we did talk about setting boundaries and all of that stuff. But yeah, so there's this. So how do I want to start this conversation? So when it comes to boundaries in a marriage, I think they do exist, right? There are just certain things that are off limits when it comes to outside things, like certain things like discussing problems that we have. I never expect you to go do that before you discuss it with me. That's a boundary that I would say exists in our marriage. Spending tons of money, right, without consulting me. And we agreed in premarital counseling that the threshold was $100. It's a lot lower than that now, I think. Now that we're like really living life together.
You turned down the street I didn't think of.
I didn't
think of that.
But I also think boundaries exist between like person to person. So where do you want to start at? Where do you want to?
So in my mind, when we started talking, my eardrum, I was thinking of more so like when I think of boundaries, I thought about like places where you've had to carve out a personal boundary for yourself between us, like, you know, in marriage. And I've learned that this isn't like everybody's case. Like, you could be married to me in two different households. You know, there's a lot of different ways a marriage functions. And I've met and talked to people. It's like, man, I don't even live with my wife, and it works for us. We visit on the weekends. my jaws drop. Like, huh? Ain't no way. But in your scenario, what is like a person-to-person boundary? Have you found one? Because we don't got a ton of space. What are ways that you've carved out like a personal boundary for yourself?
I don't think that I've really been able to do that. I don't think I've carved out like this is. I would like to carve out a boundary with you, but you keep disrespecting it, and I think we should talk about it right here, right now. He's looking at me like this because he has no idea what I'm about to say.
And you breaking the boundary right now.
Hey, leave my food alone.
No.
See? Now, I'm trying to establish a boundary. What he said in the last episode, I'm trying to tell you what I need in a relationship, and you're not even listening. Bam, doing it right back to me. So, yep, now I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not listening to you. I'm not giving you space for nothing. Now, because I hate when people mess with my food. Case in point, our son, 11 years old, was at school. And he was eating ice cream in the cafeteria, and some little boy decided that he was going to put his fingers in my son's ice cream. So my son, like me, he like, bet, when we go to gym, I'm going to drop you, right? You put your hands on my food, so I'm going to drop you. So he go to gym, and he dropped the little boy. So he get in trouble. Russell's sister works at the school. So she see he in trouble. He sitting out to the side, ask what happened. Russell come tell me, like, I said, I'm going to be a responsible person and tell him that he was wrong for doing that. but I feel him. Because if you violate my food, I'm going to violate you. And Russell is a food violator. Like in the worst way. Because I tell him all the time, just ask me. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say yes. But when I say no, I expect you to respect my no. But what he does is he'll sneak and eat my food and then pretend like he don't know nothing. And to me, like if I buy something that is for me and y'all know it's for me, don't touch it.
Hypocrite.
How?
Hypocritical.
What do I eat of
You've
yours?
never drunk or took anything of mine?
Not without asking you.
Not true. There's times you've done it and just tell me after the fact. Yeah, you never drunk. So let me tell you this. So
Wait a minute.
No,
Time out.
I let you just get off. I'm gonna say what I got to say. Then you say. Then
Well,
you can go
can
back.
you
to
at least address my point before you go into doing
to
something
address,
that I do?
I'm about to address. I called you a hypocrite. You said how. I'm about to tell you how. Then you just said, when did I ever take something of yours? I'm about to tell you.
Go ahead.
Specific things like say Coke Zero Vanilla. No one in the house besides me drinks zero sugar pops. She runs out of beverages. I come home, throw dry, ready to drink a Coke Zero Vanilla. I go to fridge, none there. She goes, oh yeah, we ain't had nothing to drink, so I drank one of your Coke Zero Vanillas. She ain't shoot me a text beforehand like, hey babe, can I? Or no, she just did it. Okay, but I guess this boundary only exists one way, because when she needs something, it's just go. And when you drunk my Coke, what did I say?
That literally happened one time, and I bought you another Coke.
What are you saying? The boundary was violated. What do you mean? You did the same thing you're fussing me about.
I literally.
It only happened once.
It happened one time, and I bought you another Coke to replace it.
So okay, cool. You said don't touch my stuff without asking. I'm bringing up a time when you did. Yes, the Coke Zero thing only happened once. But are you telling me in 3 years of marriage, you've never ate or drank anything that was mine without
asking you? No,
you're saying never.
First of all,
you say never.
First of all, never is a huge
Yeah, so thank you. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Okay, you
hypocritical.
This is a classic case of narcissistic behavior. I tell you something that is a bother with me.
If you have a boundary, uphold your own boundary.
It's not a boundary for you. You've never set that standard ever.
So let me get this straight. So because it bothers you, don't do it to you, but you can do it to me.
No, if I ask you to respect the boundary that I have established for myself, you have the right to say, okay, cool, I would like the same in respect, but the same in return. But you've never said that. I have literally told you time after time, I don't like it when you do this.
So
not jokingly, like for real, I don't like it.
But you could do it to me, is what I'm saying.
If you haven't told me that that's a problem, then yeah, like you can slap my butt, but it's a problem for me to slap yours. Like, just tell me.
And even that's like, well, hold on. But this is what I'm saying. If something is an issue or if it's a problem, it can't just be just.
Yes, it is a personal thing. Like,
so so just to be clear, you can eat and drink myself without asking because I haven't specifically said I would not like you to do that. But I can't do that with you.
If you tell me, Brandi, I don't like it when you do that either. Cool, you got I won't do it. But you've never said that.
But I have to say it. But other than that, it's just free game on my stuff. But not this way because you got an issue sharing food.
I'm literally saying one time. One time, and I replaced your stuff. And you really, like, we can't even have this conversation if we're not even going to be for real.
First of all, it's like, I can respect it. If it's that big of a deal, big of a deal, I can respect it. But I'm going to just be honest with you. It's a little petty. Especially if it's like something that you do with me, but if it's like when I do it to you, it's a problem, then fine. I can respect it. I'm just voicing my opinion that I think it's petty. We talking about drinks, cheesecake, and food. Like,
but it be stuff that I really set my mouth to. Like, I'll be away from my food and I'll have a plan for because see, this is the problem. Y'all gonna let y'all inside. This is the problem. We usually have most of the same stuff. It might not be the same variety, but like we like similar things. So what happens is we'll buy it and I savor my stuff, right? I take time with my desserts. I eat my cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory over 3 days. You eat yours over about 30 minutes. And so when yours is gone, you think it's free game on mine. And that's not fair. I don't even get to enjoy my stuff fully because you will go and finish it. That's what I'm saying.
I finished your stuff?
You have before. Remember, I got that little dessert and I was looking all over for it did I get it from Popeyes? Or I can't remember where I got it from. It was in a little black dish. My mouth was set. It was a cheesecake, like an orange cheesecake or something.
An orange cheesecake?
I don't know what it was. It was a cheesecake though. Had my mouth all set for it. Was looking all around for it. Couldn't find it. I didn't even taste it. And you ate
that
it.
was Popeyes. I genuinely thought you didn't want it.
Ow!
I thought you would taste it. Was like, this ain't. I thought you tasted something.
I didn't even crack it. I didn't even crack the seal. I didn't even get to taste my cheesecake. I waited all day for the cheesecake.
Yo, it'd been like 3 days, yo. I'm like, yo, she don't want this. She don't want this.
One day we ate the Popeyes and I was full. The next day I said, oh, I'm going to eat my cheesecake. I was thinking about it all day long. I was opening the refrigerator, moving stuff around. And he's sitting over there on the couch like this. Knowing I'm looking for the cheesecake, didn't tell me, hey, babe, I ate your cheesecake. Just sitting at me shoveling around. I'm going, my cheesecake. I can't believe I can't find my cheesecake. Lo and behold, he ate my cheesecake. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. That's a boundary. I was like, if I ain't even tasted it, if I ain't even got don't eat my stuff.
I got you. I won't touch your stuff. I would also like to put up the boundary. I would like that. Would help me digest yours as well. I feel like if it's just a mutual boundary that exists, I can respect it because I'd be like, this is just what we do.
Okay, so what's one of yours? What's a boundary that you've tried to carve out for yourself?
I'm honest with you. I don't think I've done a good job with that.
No, I think that you just set one on the last episode by saying that when you're upset, you need space. That's a boundary. Like when I'm upset, this is something that I need you to respect.
I just need to expand my understanding of boundary. That just seems like a way to deal with me, like a way of like knowing how to like work with me or knowing me. And I don't know if it's like a boundary per se. Like when I think of boundaries, I think of like the food thing. It's like, hey, this is something for whatever reason. This is my thing. I don't like this. Can you that screams boundary to me. That just seems more like, hey, I know you. This is just how to best work with me. I don't know.
Music is a boundary for you. You don't want me to write with you or even offer or even go anywhere in that space. You tell me how dope I am. Like, yeah, you can write a song. But when it comes to your stuff, you don't want me to touch it.
I don't think I have good experience with you with.
That's a boundary. Because you be like, nope, I don't want your help. Nope, no, thank you.
You don't do music, so you had no words. Hey, man, let's write a song together. I was trying. Let's be clear. Like, it wasn't just like, hey, let's write a song together. That would be cool. It was a specific song I was working on already. I had a vision for it, and she was like, I was like, yo, I'm having a little issue with the second verse. She's like, come on, we about to do it, and I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I guess that would be a boundary. See? But I don't want to say that. It was just that specific song. If you were just writing out like, hey, babe, tonight let's write a song together. And we picked out a beat and just like was messing around, being fun, cool. That's cool. But that specific song, I had a vision for it. So I don't know if that's a boundary per se.
So you don't have any boundaries. Like your stuff is just free game. I can brush my teeth with your toothbrush. I can wear your socks. I can.
Well, there's certain things I just feel like I don't have to put a boundary on because I just feel like you wouldn't do that.
I definitely would not brush.
I just said I don't.
But I would wear your socks.
I just said I don't think I've done a good. You have. You do. I just said I don't think I've done a good job of putting up boundaries because I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have anything like that. You're really like off to yourself. Like you don't.
That's what makes my stuff even more violatory because I just don't be messing with nobody's stuff.
You do that. Yeah, and when it does, I don't really make a big deal out of it. Like I'm not as, and I don't know if it's because I grew up with siblings that were kind of closer in age. So like at the end of the day, when we're going home for the leftover chicken, it was like whoever got there first. And it wasn't like, hey, did you save me something? It was just like, like no more spaghetti.
That's just rude.
Like, you had to share. And then my cousin moved in. Like, we had to share.
But
like,
that's not sharing. If you just said it's whoever get there first.
and just in general, whatever was there, like it wasn't like you know, I don't know. But things like that. And I grew up in a small house, like in terms of space, there wasn't space.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you were always around somebody. You know, I used to hang out in the basement to carve out my little like alone time. But I think I've gotten used to not having that. That was rough at first. I think those would be more the times where I would need boundaries, like when it comes to like alone time or like being by myself. But like I said, I don't think I've done a good job with that.
So, but do you think that that's okay in a marriage to just set
Yes.
some standards? Like this is what I need. This is my space. This is something that's specifically for me, and I don't want you to touch it.
I think it's very important.
How do we communicate that without seeming like selfish? No, because I don't feel like a hypocrite at all.
I'm just poking. I'm poking fun. I think you just say it. I think boundaries become a problem when boundaries are never the problem. I think communicating them becomes a problem. Number one, when you wait too long to do it. So now when you do communicate it, you're doing it out of frustration, coming off a little rude. You know, I think that can make communicating boundaries a little rough. Mm-hmm. Another thing that can make it problematic is also like when there's like history behind the boundary.
Explain.
I had a relationship in the past, and she had experienced some abuse. I didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember one day playing around, she was laying down, and I snatched the covers off. And the look she gave me was like fight or flight, and immediate emotion afterwards like, don't do that. I was like, snatch the covers. Like I was just playing. I'm not trying to hurt you, but the boundary was attached to something. You know what I mean? That made that moment bigger than just us, right? Mm-hmm. So and up to that point, I didn't know anything about that, right? So when you do know those things, then you know how to operate with a level of like respect. You know what I'm saying? I remember early on, me and you were playing one time. I don't know if I like grabbed you up like this. You like, don't do that. I don't play like that.
I just don't play fight in general well. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you so violent.
I'm seriously not violent. I just don't playing and fighting just don't go together to me. We gonna play, we gonna play. If we gonna fight, we gonna fight. Like play, fight. What is that? I don't.
You're not even.
I don't know what that is.
People want to be thugs so bad.
I really don't want to be a thug. Do. I just like hands coming at my face, holding me down. Like that feel like you.
What
it
happened
doesn't
to
feel
you?
like play. I grew up around a lot of boys. We talked about this.
Which is why I feel like you should know a play fight.
First episode. No, but I grew up around a lot of boys, and the few girls that were with us tended to be the victims. Like we just got beat up. And I learned how to fight back in that scenario. Like, I don't care who you are. You're just not about to put your hands on me. And now back then when they were playing, like for us, it was painful. It was uncomfortable. Like it hurt. Y'all not playing with another dude. You're playing with me.
Be in a playful moment. Like clearly we're in a relationship. We're in a marriage. I've never laid a hand on you in any different way. And you would think like we have an issue. I was like, yo, what is that? Just today, her herself poked a hole in her own hand with her Ginsu knife nails, trying to
trying to ball up my fist. Y'all see it?
Like trying to punch me so hard that she hurt herself. Like it's like what's happening?
I don't know. That like line is very blurred in my head of like when are we just like ha 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 ha?
It's
then,
me though.
Like
there was no pre-issue.
But your hands was in my face.
It's. Huh?
Like your hand, you was grabbing at me. Your hands was in my face. Like
That's not even what happened. I snatched her phone and I was like, she was like, "Give my phone." So I was handing it to her. I was like, like.
But it was like dangling in my face, like
You thought it was gonna hit you?
trying to. No, it's just like you have that invisible.
You see how this is in your head morphing into something?
It's not.
Your hands was in my. You was swinging them.
You have that like invisible force field around you, like, and when somebody breaks that bubble. For some people, it's cool. Like you let people in that space, but for me, like when you violate that little.
No, do you see in your mind how the details got like melted?
It didn't. That's how I saw it.
How you saw it. Now, how you saw versus what was actually happening.
But
in real time, it'd be like, yo, there's trauma here.
It is. It might be. And my mom was violent. Like, I've told you stories and you're like, that's not normal. So I just don't, it doesn't register in my head as like, oh, I'm trying to play with you, but I'm going to punch you or I'm going to hold you down or I'm going to like.
Who punching you?
Obviously, you don't punch me, but I'm just saying, like when people play fights, sometimes they be, what's it called? Shadow boxing and slap boxing and all that stuff. I don't like that. Don't hit me and don't look like you about to hit me because I'm going to hit you first.
There's a boundary you've put at.
I don't know if it's like a comfort level thing. Like I just, that doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't feel safe when people, even when you playing, don't put your hands on me like that in a rough way.
All right. Received. I got you.
I got a lot of boundaries. And I think it's because for a long time, like you said, you grew up in a house where everything was shared and all that. But I was the only child for almost 10 years. I had my own room, had my own phone line. I had my own everything. Like I didn't have to share with people. So I definitely, and my brother, he was a boy. He was 10 years younger. So the things that really pertain to me, like he wasn't interested in, and vice versa. I wasn't trying to play with his toys or nothing like that. So I definitely got used to just having my own stuff. So for me, that carries into our family dynamics, our marriage. I don't necessarily have a lot of stuff that I'm like, nah, y'all can't touch. And most importantly, I just want people to ask. I just don't like for people to just come and take. That feels like a violation to me. So more importantly, over eating my cheesecake or whatever it is, like just don't take it. Just don't assume that my feelings in the thing don't matter. Like I have plans for that stuff, so don't just take it. Yeah. I don't like feeling like people are just taking things from me. And I think that's more where it comes from. But I think it's healthy to have boundaries in a relationship because I think when we get married, everything becomes melded together. And sometimes you can lose who you are as a person in your relationship. And sometimes those boundaries just help you maintain a sense of like awareness of self. Like this is something that I need and that I don't want to sacrifice to this relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's personal space. Sometimes it's belongings. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, I don't want you to have the passcode to my phone just because I don't feel like you need that. I don't know what it is for people, but for me, I do think it's healthy to have boundaries in a relationship.
I'm trying to think about like things that would trigger a need for a boundary. And I don't know if this falls in line with the boundary. Like I said, I think I'm trying to like frame it in a way that maybe it's limiting like what a boundary is. But I think one thing for me is like, is it an emotional boundary maybe? Like I think about things that would trigger me. Like,
sure.
I'm really big on privacy in terms of like issues or even like tension. Like if you got an issue with me, like there's a way to address it. And I hate doing it in front of people. I really hate that. Like I think that was a problem with the podcast because it kind of like always put us in position to, talk about issues we had in front of the world or whoever was listening. The world is dramatic, but
hey, this podcast has been streamed in over 30 different countries. Hello.
Like I'm sitting here,
the world.
I'm sitting here discussing my business with, the Grenadines. What
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Like I'm like, yo. So it triggered me in a way. So I would say that's a boundary I have.
Well, you've had to have. Is it still a boundary? Because we do that. Or
I think it's different
level
outside of the podcast. The podcast is a space where clearly that's what we're here to do. So I've learned to just adjust. I'm talking about like outside of that.
Oh,
like
so
if we out with close friends or something, and they be like, because you always yada yada. I'll be like, nah, because just the other night we was blah 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 blah, and I'll be like, yo, I'll be like, really, like we can get into it, but I really don't like that.
Is it the same thing at like church when the pastor say something and I nudge you? Is like that thing? Is that the same thing?
Yes, that's a perfect example.
I feel like we talk about our business with our friends.
Well, it also depends on who it is, because not all relationships are like created equal. So, for instance, if we talk about like our pastors or something, like they did our premarital counseling. If we working through issue, that's a safe space. But if we were just on like a double date with friends and there was something that was specifically that we were like, if you just throw that out there, it's like, we're gonna do that here, like really.
It's the old school where you don't like to be put on Front Street.
I don't like doing that in front of people, like, and I also don't. I know how we get into it, and I just don't think it's constructive. If it's like inviting them in, getting their feedback, cool. Or if it's just like putting on a show, that's what I don't like. It's like, what are we doing? We just gonna go back and forth in front of them for the next 30 minutes about it. Like, are we here to get advice from them, or are we just because he gonna say yada? What are we doing? Like that's what I don't like.
Yeah, I guess I could respect that boundary. I don't think we've ever had to deal with that, but
no, I know I wouldn't like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. On a small scale, I think we've tiptoed on that. And this is what I mean by I do a bad job of putting up a boundary. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not even going to say nothing about it. I probably might just be a little quiet and might have a little attitude for a little bit. Like the tap, like don't do that. If we're at church and they be like, a man need to know how to learn how to fix stuff. You can't be no man that don't know how to fix no cabinet. You going, yeah. I'm like, stop touching me. Don't tap me.
It's your boundary, but that's like fun stuff. But I get it. That's your boundary, but I just feel like we playing, like that don't feel like serious to me.
For sure. Or even if it's not playing, if it's something serious, right? Like, or maybe it's something that's applicable to me, something God's dealing with me on, and we in the middle of a sermon. Or it could be something that I don't even think applies to me, and you yo, just let God talk to me, yo. I don't need you trying to direct the sermon to me. Like, don't do that. Or
I don't even be knowing. I don't even be knowing.
It bothers me so much. Not even with you, but just in general. Like even when I was a kid, it used to bother me. Like, there was this lady in my church. Like, our children know how to worship. She'd come up, grab kids, try to make them say, don't touch me. Don't touch me. People be like, the God police out here. Like you need to lift your hand. Get back up off me.
So much.
You ain't singing that good for me. Like, you ain't even, golly.
Okay.
Spirit ain't even
all right,
here.
You're here now. You're not at church. Bring it back.
I ain't talking about our church. Spirit be jumping.
Bring it back in.
Just being in general. Yeah.
No, but we received a question that kind of prompted this conversation from one of our viewers who just wanted to know, is it okay to have boundaries when you're in a relationship or or if you're in a marriage? And I think it's important. You just have to be able to set a standard for yourself, how you want to be treated, because otherwise people just going to do you any kind of way. And that's in your marriage too. So if there's certain things that are just off limits, if you don't want me tapping you in church, if I don't want you eating my food, just respect that. I don't even think it has to be an argument about that. It's so small in the grand scheme of things that if you ask me to do something, if it's in my wheelhouse to do it, like, okay, cool. Like, if it's not going to make or break our situation, I don't have to do that. Like, and I feel like you don't have to do what you do. Like, we just respect each other and move on. Because I think that's what it's about more than anything than not wanting to share or not wanting to whatever. It's just about respect. Like, this is what I need from you. Can you respect that?
I don't think I knew how important this was until I got remarried. Because before that was my first time ever living on my own. Like, I've always had roommates. I've always had family. So after I got separated, was my first time ever living by myself. And at first I was like, yo, this is mad uncomfortable. But then I really enjoyed space. Like coming home and there's nobody there was such a feeling I got used to, right? So initially, like, you know, when I started, when we moved in together, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's different. There's always people here. Always. So that's why I'd be like, if I pull up to the house and I sit in the car for like 15 minutes, like, let me rock. You know what I mean? Especially like I work with kids. So like, man, the whole day's hectic. So that little woosah moment, you know what I'm saying? And it's actually not that bad because I used to be a serial car sitter. Like if I pull up somewhere, I'm in the whip for like 20 minutes just decompressing. You know what I mean?
I don't feel like you do that, but maybe I just be missing it.
Well,
maybe
you told me
I don't stalk your outside either.
Well, a couple times I sit in the car, you be like, "Why you sitting in the car? This ain't the house you need to." What'd you say?
First of all, those were jokes.
What'd you say? This ain't the house you need to. What you say?
I don't know. I don't
this
even
ain't
know.
the house you need to stay in the car from or something like that.
It's rare that I even see you pull up. Most of the time, I feel like it's shocking when I see the little Ring camera go off. I'm like, oh, he's here. But if I like see you in the window and, you know, maybe I'm walking around the house doing something and 15 minutes later you still ain't in the house, yeah, I might notice that. But for the most part, I don't know, because our house, we don't have windows or anything where we can see out there. So I don't even know when you're here. So I don't think that's, I think that's respectable to just be like, hey, yo, I need a minute in the car. I think some people think that that's avoiding when you sit in the car, but maybe you don't have no other time to get just privacy. So you do that. I go to the grocery store or take a bath in a minute. If I need to get away from y'all, I'm about to get in the bathtub. Don't come knock on the door.
Oh, we gotta move.
Don't do none of that. I don't want mommy. No, baby. No, she's not here. I'm in the bathtub. I'm gonna start putting my AirPods in. That's a good idea because I can still hear y'all, but I just be zoning out.
I was talking to a homie, and at first I was like laughing at him. He's like, "Bro, you ever seen tiny houses?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, I think I want one." I was like, "Man, what you gonna do with a tiny house, bro?" He's like, "I'm put one in the backyard." I said, "Fam," and I started like talking to him, and this is my friend, so I know him in real life. So I'm like, "Fam, you gotta stop avoiding like this commitment. Like you retreat to your own space because you don't want to like share space. Like you almost like are craving solitude to a detriment. Like just enjoy coming home to people, bro. It's a beautiful thing." And he was like, "Yeah, nah."
He know his stuff. He
said, "Yeah, nah. I need space. I need my space." He said, "It's gonna be something. I don't know if it's a man cave or whatever. It's gonna be something." So then he started showing me like videos of it, and I was like, Ooh, I started formulating all these ideas. Like, that's actually dope. Just the idea, like, there's a place that you can go to, like, just to kind of gather yourself. Like, I think that's really dope.
I think those are good. I remember always wanting a she shed. As soon as I learned what it was, I was like, yes, I need one of those to just go read, go study, whatever it is. But I just think you can't abuse those things. And this is like, if you are OG, What They Never Told Us family, you remember this conversation that me and Russell had about me wanting to just spend a night every now and then in a hotel. Like, cause you just need space. Like, I mom 24/7, even when our kids aren't here. So I was thinking of it like, it's just my time to get away and just do me for a night. Like it don't even got to be a hotel far away. It can be a hotel in the same city we're in. I just want to go and spend a night by myself because similar to you, I've never lived on my own. I've always lived with somebody. I either was like with a roommate or I was a mom. So I never had what you had in your apartment where you were just by yourself. So sometimes I do crave that. And I don't, as a mom, as a wife, I don't really know the appropriate way to get that. Like, he gives me time away with my good girlfriends. Like, anytime I'm like, hey, we're going to go spend a night in Detroit, or we're going to go to a concert, or he went to Atlanta for 3 days, and it was never a problem. But it's the, like, by myself time that I don't get a lot of. And I do crave that sometimes. So I fully understand and support a man cave, a she shed, a tiny house, whatever it is. Stay the night in a hotel. I'm still advocating for that.
What about the school days? That's seem like
it's not, because I'm working. Like we're not even gonna go there. But like it's not the same thing. It's not. Because, like, eventually you guys come home and it's, like, right back to it. Or I don't know, doing whatever around the house, or it's just not the same thing because I'm still just in my house.
Like Monday through Friday, like drop them kids off. You just at the crib. Like,
Tuesday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. That's just, I'd be like, oh, I wonder what she's doing, just chilling.
I mean, it's, you know me, so you should know me better than that. Like, it's hard for me to just chill anyways.
But even when you're doing stuff, like even doing it without, just by yourself, is dope.
No, like I want to be outside the house, like, because when I'm here, I'm thinking about constantly what needs to be done. Like, I'm talking about just like, let me get away and decompress. You just get me back for a second. So I respect the man cave. I respect I don't know about a whole tiny house. You can get a tree house or something, but I don't want you to have all the amenities. Like, come in the house. You got to pee. You need a refrigerator, all that. You're thirsty. Come in the house. You can't have that out there.
I need me a little music studio.
That's fine.
I'm not doing that in the house.
You can have a little studio in the backyard, but it don't have no bathroom or no refrigerator in it. You got to come in the house for that. You hungry? You need to eliminate. You come in the house.
But you can go to a hotel room for the night.
That's the night. I'm coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm slipping the night there. I can't
I'm
pee
just saying they got boundaries.
I can't pee out there.
I don't want
try to pee out there.
Because if it's something in the backyard, like I could see having a conversation like, I'm here, I'm at the house, I'm right in the backyard. Yeah, but you ain't been in the house in 2 days. Like, I need you to come in the house. I'm just gonna go overnight. I'm coming right back. If you got you a little escape in the backyard, you can spend a whole week out there.
I can't pee in the room.
No, you gotta come in the house to pee. You don't pee that often. Come in the house.
That's crazy. That's
every 3 or 4 hours. Just check in.
That's crazy work. That's crazy. No, I think it's really important, and it's these are one of those episodes that touch on stuff that I don't think about. I don't think about that. When we someone that reached out to us about this concept, I was like, like even now, like in this episode, I'm sitting like trying to think about how I incorporate this in my life, and I can't think of it. Like, aside from the things you named, like, of course there's but I don't have to say that. I don't have to tell you not to use my toothbrush, because who finna do that?
I do think in general, not trying to call you out, but I do think in general, sometimes you have bad boundaries just with people in general.
I suck at it.
We talk about, getting sucked into conversations that you don't want.
I don't know how to say,
I'm done. Yeah.
The kids get mad at me every day because they be ready to leave from work, and they'll be like, just keep walking, just keep walking.
I know how they feel.
My coworker was like, she's like, I'm gonna show you how to do it. So at the end, everybody was talking. She was like, okay, bye. Like, in the middle of the thing, just walked away.
She's like me.
I was like, whoa. Just walked off. I was like, oh, that's so impressive. I just can't.
Yeah. All right, we have a how old is he? 20-year-old. And he is like, I don't know what type of like attachment issues he has, but when he's on the phone, when you try to get off the phone with him, he starts a new conversation. I've tried to demonstrate to Russell, like, okay, when this happens, this is what you do. You did such a good job yesterday when he called, when he was trying to show you his suit for his formal, being like, okay, but you called it out. You say, you're not going to do that thing where when I say bye, you start another conversation. I'm about to go. And I just think you just have to be direct with people. But I think you have a hard time with this topic because it's an issue in real life.
Yeah. I do better when it's like people I'm very comfortable with. Like, if I know you know me, then I don't worry about damaging rapport. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like you don't know me like that. You come to me at the end of the day stressed with the issue, something that, you need to decompress. Like, man, so what are we going to do about blah, 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 blah? And I'll say 3 which ways. Hey, look, I don't have the answer right now. I understand you're frustrated, but yeah. I have a hard time just being like, hey, I'm leaving. We're done. Goodbye. Like, I have a hard time with it.
My coworkers hate me because I'm like, yeah, I don't know. All right. I'll be closing the door. They be still standing there. All right.
I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, literally, you could be backpedaling in your car with the door shut. We'll be right outside of your car door with the door shut. Yeah, and another thing. I'm like, wow.
But I think that's because, nope. Because
with everybody, it's not me though. It's not me though.
This town too
it's
small.
not just me. It's not just. Yeah.
This sounds too small.
Yeah, don't
so
do
get
that.
out of that.
Yeah, but ultimately, you're right. This is an issue for me everywhere, and this is, I think, really important for everybody, but it's especially important for the people that fall in the category like me, which is like people pleasing. You know what I mean? A lot of what I do revolves around accessing people in general, right? Whether it's preaching, whether it's music, it's like connection. So I'm very connection focused, and I'm sensitive when it's disrupted. I can feel in a room. If I'm talking, if I'm presenting, I can feel when I'm losing the room instantly. And some people are oblivious to that stuff. If I write a song and people listen to it, I can see, this ain't the one. I can tell how it's hitting with them. Like I have a song I love right now. It's hitting with me, but I played it for someone close to me, and they were listening to it. They're like, if you like it, I love it. It's like, okay, this is not her jam. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very sensitive to those things. And people like that, people who kind of in this space, this will always be an issue for them. Like you cannot go through life where your whole focus is give, pour, output, and you're not focused on saving some for yourself and protecting what you have, because, you know, not every place is a safe place to pour.
Yeah, I think I experienced that, but just in a separate way. So we talked about how much of a fixer that I am. I don't think that people, well, they do bring it to me, but I insert myself in a lot of things. Like if I hate to see the people that I love struggle. It bothers the mess out of me. So if I see them struggling, I will insert, okay, let me help you. Let me fix this. Let me do this. But what I found in the reverse of that is when people are used to you fixing things, they always want you to fix things. And so when it's time to be like, okay, no, this is yours now, I have a hard time pushing back on people that I love to do that. Now, people that I have no connection to, people at work, I love them, but I don't have to live with them. I don't have to do life with them every day. So I can easily cut that off. People try to talk to me in the grocery store. I'm not the one that's going to chit chat with you about the weather and get sucked into 50 different conversations. We went to Ohio, and a guy stopped us at the gas station. Man wasn't talking to nobody. He just talking. I don't know how you got roped in the situation, because he literally just talking out loud. Next thing I know, him and Russell are chopping it up. That will never happen to me. If you are talking out loud, I will pump my gas, get in my car, and drive off and never say a word.
He was talking to me.
No, he was just talking and hoping somebody get caught.
He was an expert at starting conversation. These gas prices.
See, that's not
here we
directed
go.
towards
This is
me.
crazy. Can you believe it?
that ain't
it,
directed towards me. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
He got me. Yeah, and it's weird for me. Mine's the opposite. Like I'm really good at with our oldest 20-year-old. I know him. I know he knows me. I'm perfectly fine being like, hey, don't do anything. I got off the phone. Bye. If it's my sister, I got somewhere to be. You know what I mean? It's the people who aren't close to me. It's the coworker. It's the person who knows my dad, or, you know, like those are the people I have a hard time, you know, putting the boundaries with. It's so weird.
Yeah, I recognize that there are just areas in my family, my family of origin, that boundaries have just never existed, especially when it comes to just how you treat people. Anything kind of flies. We're a very crass family. We're very open with one another. So like if we feel it, we gonna say it. We don't care how it's gonna make you feel. But I think now as an adult and just realizing that words hold weight, certain people you're just not gonna be able to talk to me like that no more. Like you're just not gonna be able to say that to me. And before, or as I was growing up, it was like, oh, that's your aunt, you can't say nothing. That's your older cousin, you can't say nothing. That's your mom, you can't say nothing. But now I'm learning that, like, nah, I can say something to you because I get to dictate how you treat me. So for me, this is a boundary that I'm establishing. When you upset, you can't just call and pour out on me and take it out on me. When you don't feel like talking, you don't talk. But when you feel like talking, then you my friend. I can't let you do that. So if you gonna be my friend, you gonna be my friend. But when you get in your moods and you want to change with the wind, that's not allowed no more. And I have a lot of that in my inner circle. Like when things are good, oh, we all chummy. But when you mad at one person in the family, now you mad at everybody. And I'm like, it's not healthy for me anymore, because I try to take that on, and I'm trying to fix it and make sure everybody good. So I'm like, yeah, nah, it's just certain relationships now that in my family, nope, I love you, but can't deal with you because it's just not healthy.
What do you do when it's a family member that you have to deal with?
Who do I have to deal with? The only people I have to deal with is you and my kids. I don't have to deal with nobody else.
That sounds good.
It's true.
You don't have to deal with anybody.
If they're disrespectful.
For sure, you don't have to deal with anybody, but there's certain familiar relationships that are a big adjustment if you strip them away. Like, yeah, I don't got to deal with my mama, but I'm going to feel that on Christmas. I'm going to feel that on Thanksgiving.
But is it a disrespect? I guess what's the situation? Because if it's disrespect.
This is what you were talking
about. So for me, I think anybody who genuinely loves you and cares about you will respect your boundaries. It may be hard for them, but if I see somebody putting in an effort to be like, okay, you told me I can't come to you with this, and I'm trying to respect that. I'll work with you. But if it's blatant disrespect, if you're cussing me out, if you're being rude to my children, if it's things like that, I don't have to deal with anybody.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to.
Yeah, of course, like the level of offense is, I think that heightens the situation. But there's a lot of people who are listening right now who, they have family members, they have a parent, an uncle, an auntie, a sibling who they love, who love them. And I think we talked about this on the episode. Like, love does not come with a built-in kit on how to be a good person, or like, you can love me and still not know how to be a good uncle.
Yeah.
You can love me and still not know how to articulate yourself when you're upset. And there's certain people right now is like, man, I really don't like the way she addresses me when yada, yada, yada. But my kids go over there, my kids love, blah, blah, blah. Like, their lives are so interwoven. It's like a hard, and I think it's just like learning how to bounce the situations, because depending on the relationship, I think that's what holds weight to, okay, how much am I willing to invest in navigating the situation? Because you can get mad and be like, yo, like, I don't like that. I know you're not going to see when I talk to you, so I'm not going to talk to you, and I'm cutting you off. But, it's hard to do when it's
So I think that sometimes when we think about establishing boundaries, that we automatically assume that if you establish a boundary, and you're trying to control what the other person does. And I don't think that that's correct. When I establish a boundary, it is for me, right? So I get to control how I respond in a situation. So when I say I'm just not going to allow somebody who's frustrated to take those frustrations out on me, that doesn't mean that person's never going to try to do that. But that means that I've established a point where I'm just not allowing them the space to do that. So if said person calls me and is doing that, hey, I can't do this right now. I gotta call you back, or call me back when you calm down. Then especially when the situation has nothing to do with you. Like, I think that for me, that's how I establish the boundary. Like, when I see those behaviors start, I'm removing myself from the situation. So I can't control how you respond, how you act, or how you take me setting up a boundary for myself. But I also feel like if you love me, you'll respect that. So you're not getting mad that I'm getting off the phone and don't want you to spew at me. You understand that for me, for this piece that I need to keep, I just can't do that with you. And I think that's more of what it is. I think people have a hard time because you're like, I can't stop them from, that's just who they are. Okay, cool. You help me with that. You know who your such and such is, so you got to learn how to deal with that. My dealing with that is, okay, I'm not that space for you to do that anymore. I'm choosing that. You don't got to change nothing about you, but now you just don't get to call and dump on me. You don't get to just choose to talk to me when you want to. I'm making that decision for myself. And it doesn't mean that every other day I'm still not going to call and talk to you. But when it starts to tap on that, that's when I tap out.
For sure. I think we all got to find the areas in which we need boundary, whether it's in a marriage, whether it's friends, family. We all have to be able to like guard ourselves in the area of relationships.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's a God thing. A lot of people think that's a human thing, but boundaries are like, it's a God thing. You know, the first boundary that ever was created. Well, I don't know if it's the first one, but it's a very prevalent one, right? They in the garden, Adam and Eve violate, sin enters the world. He's like, yep, okay, you're out the garden. Bam, you won't come back. And I'm placing this angel here with a flaming sword. You not getting back in Eden because of how you violated. Like, that's a boundary that was placed there.
But I think the first boundary was him telling them that the tree of life was off limits. Like, that's a boundary. You got access to everything. But this right here, you can't touch it. That was God establishing a boundary. Now we saw what happens when the boundary was violated. And the same happens when we establish boundaries and people violate them. It damages relationships. So if you're in a situation where somebody is establishing a boundary with you, if you want to maintain that relationship with them, you have to respect that boundary.
Toward that. No more eating each other's leftovers.
Thank you, Jesus.
I said no more eating each other's leftovers.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I'm glad we are in agreement. And mine wasn't even a leftover. It wasn't even I didn't even touch it yet. Let's not eat them either.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining this episode of What They Never Told Us. We will be live on Thursday like we always are on Facebook. Lord willing, we got to put that in there now. That's like the 8:30-ish. We'll be there Thursday, Lord willing.
Facebook and YouTube, and we are still working on Instagram, so work with us. But the lives are definitely where it happens, where the podcast meets real life, and we get to kick it with members of our community. So if you are available 8:30-ish Eastern Standard Time, hop over on Facebook on Thursdays and kick it with the What They Never Told Us podcast.
That part. And as always, we love.
And y'all should love too.